Hello everybody! In today's video, we are wrapping up our visit to Grand Canyon National Park and heading south towards Sedona. As you may or may not know, I am obsessed with Sedona and I come here all the time, mostly for hiking and photography, but also just to enjoy staring at those beautiful red rock views. If you're new here, my name is Eden, and I run the blog Rock a Little Travel, and now this YouTube channel, where I encourage others to use all their vacation days to get out there and explore the world. While you'll often find me exploring the US, I also travel internationally several times a year, so I'll definitely be sharing those adventures with you too. All right, let's get back to that Grand Canyon to Sedona road trip. So this is the general route that I took, which is a bit longer than the fastest route, but it's a lot more scenic. I started out at the Grand Canyon Visitor Center and headed east along the south rim of the canyon, then exited the park at the easternmost exit before making my way to the 89 South towards Flagstaff, Arizona. And yes, I did make that big detour over to Meteor Crater Natural Landmark, which is where this Grand Canyon to Sedona road trip gets started. My first stop after leaving the Grand Canyon was to Meteor Crater Natural Landmark. This is the site of a meteorite impact with Earth over 50,000 years ago. Visitors to Meteor Crater can take a walk through the on-site museum, see the Meteor Crater movie, and then head out upstairs to one of several viewing platforms. If you'd like to learn more about visiting Meteor Crater Natural Landmark, you can check out my last video that's all about what to expect during a visit here. After leaving Meteor Crater, I headed back towards Flagstaff for lunch at this brewery. I didn't get to explore Flagstaff during this visit, but I'm planning to head back here early next year. For the rest of this road trip, we'll be traveling from Flagstaff to Sedona. The route we're taking is the 89A, which is considered one of the most scenic stretches of highway in the United States. We'll be making 9 stops along the way, with the first one being the Griffith Spring Trail. All right, our first stop is the Griffith Springs Loop Trail. This is a 1-mile loop trail just south of Flagstaff. The Griffith Spring Trail is easy and flat, and it winds through Ponderosa Pines. It makes a very peaceful first stop on this road trip. Next stop is Oak Creek Vista. All right, this is stop number 2 on our Flagstaff to Sedona road trip. This is the Oak Creek Overlook Vista, and there's incredible views of Oak Creek down below. Here you'll find multiple overlook points with sweeping views of Oak Creek Canyon. You can also see those famous Sedona red rock formations off in the distance. Oak Creek Overlook Vista is a really easy stop. There's plenty of parking. It's a paved trail. It's really short, and the views of Oak Creek are really incredible. I highly recommend you don't skip this one. So it's surprisingly empty for a Saturday morning. It's about 9 a.m. Stop 3 is Harding Spring Trail. The Harding Spring Trail is a moderately difficult 1.4 mile out and back trail through a forested area. It starts out with quite the incline, but you can complete the trail in about 90 minutes or so. All right, you'll want to be relatively fit for this one and have the right shoes. This trail so far is all uphill. And there is free but limited parking just across the street. Stop 4 is West Fork Oak Creek Trail. For stop number 4, we're at the West Fork Oak Creek Trail. This is a beautiful trail, and it's one of the most popular trails here in Sedona, so you'll likely want to get to this one on the early side. They open at 8 a.m., and there's actually a line to get in, a line of cars, before they even open. This is a 14-mile trail end to end, but it's maintained for just the first 3 miles. What I love about this trail is that it's mostly flat and you get amazing views right from the start. It's easy to see why this is one of Sedona's most popular trails. This hike is worth getting up early for. The gate opens at 8 a.m. and I recommend arriving as close to then as possible. Stop number 5 is Slide Rock State Park. This is stop number 5 on our Flagstaff to Sedona road trip. We are at Slide Rock State Park. Slide Rock State Park is known for its natural water slide carved into the bottom of Oak Creek. The park is a popular destination for families, and this is a very fun spot for kids to go swimming. Slide Rock is also surrounded by red rock formations and has a nice paved walking trail if you'd like to explore the park a bit and just enjoy the views. Stop number 6 is Sterling Pass Trail.
Just made it to stop number 6. This is the Sterling Pass Trail.
Sterling Pass Trail is a 5.1 mile out and back hike, and it is considered challenging. You'll face an incline and quite a few steps right from the start. This is a beautiful trail though, and it's very popular with locals.
Just a fair warning, this trail starts off at an incline right away. There's a couple of switchbacks right off the bat, and there are some pretty good views right away. But there's some really far there's some big cliffs. It's a long way down. So this may not be good for those if you are afraid of heights.
And definitely be careful on this trail. It is quite narrow, and I recommend arriving as early in the morning as possible to avoid the midday heat.
All right, full disclosure, I only did about 10 minutes of that hike. It's really rocky and steep, and I still have this cast on, so I wouldn't be able to brace myself if I slipped, so I just turned around.
Stop number 7 is the North Wilson Trail.
All right, we made it to stop number 7. We're at the North Wilson Trail. This trail starts off with a bit of an incline, not as inclined as some of the other hikes that we've done on this road trip, but within 5 minutes, you get really great views. Check this out.
The North Wilson Trail is a 9.5 mile out and back hike that leads to a beautiful lookout point. From the top, you'll be rewarded with views of Sedona, Coffee Pot Rock, Oak Creek Canyon, and the Verde Valley. This is considered a challenging hike as well and will take about 5.5 hours to complete. Stop number 8 is Grasshopper Point.
All right, we are at stop number 8. This is Grasshopper Point. It is basically a swimming hole that sits along Oak Creek. There's a cliff that you can jump off of, and it looks really cool actually. But there's also this sea of boulders that you have to climb across before you get over to the water. Let's go.
Grasshopper Point is a popular picnic and swimming area with access to several local hiking trails. While it's common to see people jumping off the cliffs here, this is discouraged for obvious reasons, so I do advise against this. This is a beautiful swimming area though. You really can't beat the views here. And Grasshopper Point is open from either 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. depending on the season, and it is $9 to park here, but there is plenty of parking. And our last stop, stop number 9, is Midgley Bridge. This is one of the most impressive overlook points on State Route 89A. The historic bridge was built back in 1939 and arches over the mouth of Oak Creek Canyon.
All right, this is one of my favorite lookout points in Sedona, but it's also everybody else's favorite lookout point in Sedona, or one of, so it gets very busy. The parking lot is pretty big. I think it fits like 15-20 cars. But by the middle of the day, it's going to be hard to get in there. So come here as early in the morning as possible. Right now, it's about 6:30 in the morning, so I was able to, there was plenty of parking. There were only 2 other cars here, and plus there's nobody else here. There's a trail here called the Huckabee Trail. I think that's a 1.5 mile trail, but I'm guessing that the 2 vehicles up there are hikers doing that trail. So I have the overlook point here all to myself.
The Midgley Bridge overlook is perfect for both sunrise and sunset, though I prefer sunrise because it's just a lot more peaceful. This is also a great spot to visit on a clear night for stargazing. Since Sedona is an international dark sky community, it's one of the best places in the country to enjoy the night sky. I hope you've enjoyed this Grand Canyon to Sedona road trip itinerary and that I've inspired you to plan a similar trip of your own. I also hope I've shown you some new places that you can explore when you're visiting Sedona. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you've made it this far, I really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more Sedona and international content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.